Alright, good evening everybody, and welcome to the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. For those of you unfamiliar with the series, we have been going through, so far, the first 3 Elder Scrolls games. I'm just going to take a minute here to up the volume a little bit. So I have not really played any of this series substantially, and I think I talked a little bit in the very first episode how like Skyrim had a few things that didn't quite work for me, but I've actually really warmed to the series over playing it. We just finished Daggerfall, and this is obviously the one that everybody likes to talk about. I think I might have made this a little too loud. This is definitely the one that everybody kind of refers to as being the one that got them into the series. So, as obviously, I knew ahead of time that I was going to be doing this, but I didn't want to rush Daggerfall. But we finished that last week. I rather foolishly said that I was going to start this October 8th. It is currently October the 7th, and I have work tomorrow, so this may be a shorter episode. But without further ado, we begin the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Each event is preceded by prophecy, but without the hero there is no event. Zurin Arctus the Underking. In the waning years of the Third Era of Tamriel, a prisoner born on a certain day to uncertain parents was sent under guard without explanation to Morrowind, ignorant of the role he was to play in that nation's history. And you all get to hear how bad my Caius voice is against the Morrowind
They have
voices.
taken you from the Imperial City's prison. First by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up. Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
And we will be continuing the story of Caius, Spellsword, Dunmer, former agent of the Emperor, Eternal Champion, and now prisoner.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go. Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
W and S move forward and back, A and D move side to side. The mouse looks around.
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
Look up to the hatch and press spacebar to open it. Spacebar activates objects and people you are looking at.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and I'll show you to the census office.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where. Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
Now, we've already done this, answering the questions a few times before, so we will just give him the info.
Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
Now, I have not actually looked at the signs yet, so this is new.
So the Apprentice Fortify Maximum Magicka is 1.5 times Intelligence, Weakness to Magicka 50%. The Antronak Spell Absorption 50%, Fortify Maximum Magicka 2 times Int, Stunted Magicka. The Lady's Favor Fortify Personality by 25, Lady's Grace Fortify Endurance by 25 points. The Lord Trollkin, Weakness to Fire 100%, Spells Blood of the North, and Restore Health 2 points for 30 seconds on self. The Lover Mooncalf, Fortify Agility by 25 points, Powers Lover's Kiss, Paralyzed for 60 seconds on target, Damage Fatigue 200 points on self. The Mage, Fortify Maximum Magicka by half of Intelligence. The Ritual, Blessed Word, turn undead 100 points for 30 seconds on target. Blessed Touch, turn undead 100 points for 30 seconds on touch. Powers, Mara's Gift, restore health for 100 points on self. The Serpent, Star Curse, poison 3 points for 30 seconds on touch. Damage health 1 point for 30 seconds on self. Shadow, Moon Shadow, invisibility for 60 seconds on self. The Steed, Charioteer, fortify speed by 25 points. The Thief, Akavi, Danger Sense, Sanctuary 10 points. The Tower, Beggar's Nose, detect animal 200 feet for 60 seconds on self. Detect enchantment for 200 feet. Detect key. Powers, Tower Key, open 50 points on touch. And the Warrior, fortify attack by 10 points.
It's difficult to say whether I do. We will say we were born under the Lady.
Interesting. Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct.
You have a stats menu where you can always view your information. Right-clicking allows you to use your menus. When you are done with them, right-click again to close them.
Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Read your papers by pressing the spacebar while looking at them, then select Take to pick them up. For release by Emperor Uriel Septim VII's decree to the district of Radenfell in the province of Morrowind. Name Caius, race Dark Elf, class Spellsword. Signed Secunius Ergala, agent of Seda Neen Imperial Census and Excise, 16th of Last Seed, 3rd Era 427. You now have an inventory menu where you can see what you are carrying. Like all menus, right-click to use your new menu. You can click and move objects from the world to your inventory.
Continue through to the next building and talk to Celes Gravius.
I'm an officer of the Imperial Legion. Move along.
Tell me about the Imperial Legion.
We have garrisons at Fort Pelgiad in Pelgiad, Hawkmouth Fort in Ebonheart, Fort Moonmoth in Balmora, Fort Buckmoth in Aldrun, and Fort Darius in Gnesis. Were you looking to join the Imperial Legion?
How does one join the Imperial Legion?
All the garrisons are presently at full strength, except perhaps the Death's Head Legion at Fort Darius in the West Gash near the village of Gnesis. If you're interested, you'll have to talk to General Darius there.
Always looking for something to loot.
You should learn how to do combat. Pick up the dagger on the table by activating it with spacebar. Equip the dagger by dropping it on your picture in the inventory menu. Press F to pull out your weapon. Once your weapon is readied, hold and release the left mouse button to swing it. The harder you swing it, the more damage it does, but the more fatigue you will drain. Hriskar, don't think I've forgotten our wager. I want this dagger sharp as a scamp's claw by morning. Ganisil. You can eat ingredients by equipping them on your character in the inventory menu. Ingredients have different properties. Some may hurt you, and some may help. Equip lockpicks in the inventory menu. Try picking the locks on the smallest chest on the shelf. The Firmament by Folke. The stars of Tamriel are divided into 13 constellations. 3 of them are the major constellations, known as the Guardians. These are the Warrior, the Mage, and the Thief. Each of the Guardians protects its 3 charges from the 13th constellation, the Serpent. When the sun rises near one of the constellations, it is that constellation's season. Each constellation has a season of approximately 1 month. The Serpent has no season, for it moves about in the heavens, usually threatening one of the other constellations. The Warrior is the first Guardian constellation, and he protects his charges during their season. The Warrior's own season is Last Seed, when his strength is needed for the harvest. His charges are the Lady, the Steed, and the Lord, who are born under the sign. Those born under the sign of the Warrior are skilled with weapons of all kinds, but prone to short tempers. The Mage is a Guardian constellation whose season is Rain's Hand, when Magicka was first used by men. His charges are the Apprentice, the Golem, and the Ritual. Those born under the Mage have more magicka and talent for all kinds of spellcasting, but are often arrogant and absent-minded. The Thief is the last Guardian constellation, and her season is the darkest month of Evening Star. Her charges are the Lover, the Shadow, and the Tower. Those born under the sign of the Thief are not typically thieves, though they take risks more often and only rarely come to harm. They will run out of luck eventually, however, and rarely live as long as those born under other signs. The Serpent wanders about in the sky and has no season, though its motions are predictable to a degree. No characteristics are common to those born under the sign of the Serpent. Those born under this sign are the most blessed and the most cursed. The Lady. The Lady is one of the Warrior's charges, and her season is Hearthfire. Those born under the sign of the Lady are kind and tolerant. The Steed is one of the Warrior's charges, and her season is Midyear. Those born under the sign of the Steed are impatient and always hurrying from one place to another. The Lord's season is First Seed, and he oversees all of Tamriel during the planting. Those born under the sign of the Lord are stronger and healthier than those born under other signs. The Apprentice's season is Sun's Height. Those born under the sign of the Apprentice have a special affinity for magic of all kinds, but are more vulnerable to magic as well. The Antornak, often called the Golem, is one of Mage's charges. Its season is Sun's Dusk. Those born under this sign are natural sorcerers with deep reserves of magicka, but they cannot generate magicka on their own. The Ritual is one of Mage's charges, and its season is Morning Star. Those born under this sign have a variety of abilities depending on the aspects of the moons and the divines. The Lover is one of Thief's charges, and her season is Sun's Dawn. Those born under the sign of the Lover are graceful and passionate. The Shadow's season is Second Seed. The Shadow grants those born under her sign the ability to hide in shadows. The Tower is one of Thief's charges, and its season is Frostfall. Those born under the sign of the Tower have a knack for finding gold and can open locks of all kinds. You now have a map menu. It shows you the name of the place you are in and you're facing. You now have a magic item where you can see all your powers, spells, and magic items. Like all menus, right-click to use your new menu. Click on the spell or magic item that you want to make your active magic. Press R to ready your active magic, then click to cast. Press spacebar to talk to the captain. Select topics to ask about them. Don't try persuasion on him if you're not good at it. He will start to dislike you. First, let me take your identification papers. Thank you. Word of your arrival only reached yesterday. I am Celis Gravius, but my background is not important. I'm here to welcome you to Morrowind.
Tell me more about Morrowind.
Yes, you're in Morrowind. I don't know why you're here, or why you were released from prison and shipped here, but your authorization comes directly from Emperor Uriel Septim VII himself. I don't need to know any more than that. When you leave this office, you are a free man. But before you go, I have instructions on your duties. Instructions from the Emperor, so pay careful attention.
And what do you know of Uriel Septim?
Uriel Septim is still the Emperor. According to my instructions, he's personally authorized your release from prison and your delivery here. It's all very mysterious. That's the way the Empire works. Silence, secrecy. Let not the left hand know what the right hand is doing.
Tell me more about the Empire.
This is the Vradenfell district of the province of Morrowind, and Morrowind has been part of the Empire for over 400 years. The current Emperor is Uriel Septim, 24th of the Septim line. You haven't been in prison that long, haven't you? Have you? Nothing wrong with your head, is there? The men said you were acting a little strange when they brought you in from the ship.
Tell me more about your background.
I am Celis Gravius, a knight-errant of the Imperial Legion.
What about the Imperial Legion?
We have garrisons in Fort Pelgiad and Pelgiad...
More the same, really. Alright, tell me what my duties are.
This package came with news of your arrival. You are to take it to Caius...
What?
Costades in the town of Balmora. Go to the South Wall Corner Club and ask for Caius Costades. They'll know where to find him. Serve him as you would serve the Emperor himself. I also have a letter for you, and a dispersal to your name. Alright, directions to Caius Cascades has been added to your inventory. Package for Caius Cascades has been added to your inventory. 87 gold has been added to your inventory.
I'm gonna take a minute here. I'm gonna start a new page for the new game. And this time I will actually be more ordered in how I keep my notes. Goodbye.
Press J to use your journal and review what you've been told. You should probably check out Arl's trade house on the left. You're on your own now. Good luck. 16th of last seed, day 1.
My orders are to go to the town of Balmora in Vradenfell district and report to a man named Caius Costades. To find out where he lives, I should ask in Balmora at the corner club called South Wall. When I find Caius Cascades, I will give him a package of documents and await further orders. Do you have any advice?
If you want to improve a skill you're terrible at, it's worth paying for a little training just to get started. Sure, you can teach yourself, but it can be slow and frustrating.
I wasn't thinking life advice, but thank you.
Welcome to Earl's Trade House. I barter for goods and coin. I also have a small selection of spells for sale. No credit. If you want a little advice, that's free. That's all that's free. Would you like to hear about our most popular potions? Our most popular scrolls?
Let's go for the free stuff first.
If you want to live to a ripe old age, buy a weapon and as much armor as you can wear and still run from trouble. Buy a spell or two and practice your skills. Don't practice on citizens. We call that foul murder, and we don't like it. But you can kill smugglers and bandits and other outlaws all you like. Outlaws have no rights. Plenty of adventurers have made a living from killing and looting outlaws. Smuggler scum down in Adermastus, for instance. The cave down near the Siltstrider platform.
Tell me more about practice.
Practice on creatures and outlaws and anyone who attacks you first. When in doubt, run away. And if you attack a citizen by accident, don't kill him. Turn yourself into a guard, pay your fine, and clear your name, or people will treat you like an outlaw.
What do you know about rumors?
I heard that Hriscar upstairs is having some financial troubles. Can't seem to win a wager these days.
What are your most popular scrolls?
Vigor and Vitality are our best-selling bargain items, restoring fatigue and health, respectively. Almsby Intervention and Divine Intervention transport you instantly to the nearest temple or the nearest Imperial Shrine. Good for routine or emergency transportation. Heartwise helps with persuasion. Summon Skeletal Minion brings help in a jiffy, and Drathis Winter Guest does a lot of damage at a touch. Handy to whittle a too-tough opponent down to size.
Potions.
Cure Common Disease and Cure Blight Disease potions are most popular with travelers. Fortify Strength, Endurance, Speed, Agility are all helpful in combat. Fortify Personality is popular with merchants and shy people. Of course, Fortify Fatigue keeps you fighting at your best. Restore Health and Restore Fatigue are perhaps the most popular items, and for a short burst of power during a fight, you can't beat Grief, Sheen, Flynn, Mazate, and Sujama.
These are tempting to buy, but they're a little expensive. Let's try and persuade.
Talk straight, Dark Elf. None of that flattery.
All right. I would like a sword and some armor if I can. I wonder if I can sell him some of the things that I found here. So it looks like there's only a few light.
Thank you. Please come again.
Alright, let's equip ourselves. Um...
What assistance do you need?
Guess I'll have to find some pants later.
What is it, Sarah?
I'm Tolvi's Othralin. Welcome to Scenic Sdea Neen, Gateway to Morrowind. Are you looking for someone in particular, or do you just want a little advice?
I'm looking for someone in particular.
The Altmer Elrel runs Erel's trade house. Socinius Agrella is the chief agent at the Census and Excise offices.
Well, what about advice then?
I see a lot of new faces like yours here in Sdea Neen. If you're hoping to stand out from the crowd, you need to practice a lot and improve your skills. And if you want to increase your general level of competence, focus on your major skills, the ones that are most important to your trade. That way, you'll advance more quickly. And another little tip for that newcomers forget, always carry a little food so you can freshen up when fatigue gets you down. Eat a little, and you can feel your energy coming back.
Can you tell me a secret?
Talk to everyone. Talk is cheap. Ask questions. You don't ask, you never learn.
The screen just went blank to me. Tell me about your services.
Get food and sundries from Erel's trade house. That's where you'll also find anyone who offers training. Not much else in the way of services in this damp little squat.
What about specific places?
Not much here. Erel's trade house, the Census and Excise offices. That's the Coast Guard too, and the lighthouse, and that's about it. Siltstrider service goes to Vivec, Balmora, Gnesis, and Suran. The road gets north past Pelgiad to Balmora, and east to Vivec, and southeast to Ebonheart.
Thank you for your time. Someone who couldn't handle their money.
Now, where did I put that?
I don't remember who, though, so we'll just talk to everyone.
You look like you could use a friend, Outlander. Perhaps I can be your friend, if you'd like to help me recover some gold.
I'm interested.
That's right. See, I've had a bad run at playing 9 holes and lost a bit of money. Normally I'd be fine. We usually keep some gold in our pockets just for the money the locals pay us for protection. But I know some of them are holding out on me, especially that little fetcher Fargoth. He's come up light the past couple of weeks when I've shaken him down. I know he's stashing it somewhere, and I'd like you to find Fargoth's hiding place.
And what is that?
Another little fetcher's got one somewhere in town. I'm just not sure where yet. I've already gone through his whole house, and I know he's not hiding it there. I'd like you to find out where he's stashing his gold. If you can, I'll give you a share of the wealth. Are you up for it?
I'll do it.
Excellent. Here's what I want you to do. I'm not sure where he goes, but I know that he wanders around town at night. Watch his movements. The best vantage point is on top of the lighthouse at the south of town. That will give you a nice view of all of Sdea Neen. If you keep an eye on where he goes, I'm sure you'll be able to figure out where he's hiding that gold.
On your way. What was that? On your way.
Well, hello, Caius. I'm Ralphod the Braggart. This is Sdea Neen, swamp fever capital of the world. I suppose you're wondering what's going on here. I can tell you where the services are. There aren't many. I can tell you the latest rumors, unless you've already heard them.
Let's hear about the rumors.
I heard that there's some trouble up at Fort Frostmoth. Never heard of it? It's on an island called Solstheim, north of Varadenfell.
Where's Solstheim?
That's the frozen island up north, right? Sounds awful to me. If you're looking to get there, you might check for transportation and cool.
Tell me more about Varadenfell in general.
Varadenfell District is one of 6 imperial administrative districts of Morrowind, consisting of the island of Varadenfell, surrounded by the inland sea, and dominated by the titanic volcano Red Mountain and its associated ash wastelands.
And what about the district?
Varadenfell District is one of 6 administrative districts in the imperial province of Morrowind. Varadenfell District consists of the island of Varadenfell with its great house and imperial settlements at the city of Vivec, surrounded by an inland sea and dominated by the titanic volcano Red Mountain and its associated ash wastelands.
And what about Morrowind in general?
Morrowind is the northeastern province of the Tamrielic Empire, bound on the north and east by the ocean, on the west by Skyrim, and the southwest by Cyrodiil, also known as the Imperial Province, and on the south by Blackmarsh, also known as Argonia.
What kind of training do you offer? Long blade might be helpful, but I don't have the money.
Well, hello, Caius. I'm Chandram Andlin. This is Seyda Swamp Fever capital of the world. I suppose you're wondering what's going on here. I can tell you where the services are. There aren't many, and I can tell you the latest rumors unless you've already heard them.
Just happy to hear about the rumors.
I've heard that the local tax collector, Prosenius Vitalis, is missing. No surprise, really. He wasn't really liked around here.
Mathera.
I'm Balkis Kalenius. Welcome to Scenic Seyda, gateway to Morrowind. Are you looking for someone in particular, or do you just want a little advice?
Well, I'm interested in the tax collector if there's money for it. What about advice?
Don't expect the natives to take to you right away. Colonists like us, outlanders, settlers from other provinces, will be more open and friendly at the start. Then maybe when you do a few things, get your name around, gain a reputation, the locals will open up a little. Stick to your own kind to start, and it will go a bit easier.
What about rumors?
Did you hear that some fools lost Mentor's ring in a tomb along the bitter coast, they say?
Yes?
Hello, Alone.
Go ahead, you're not interrupting anything. I'm Alone, Scout. You need any directions? Pelgaed, Belmora, Caldera, Ebonheart, Vivec?
What about Belmora?
Belmora is a district seat of House Hlalu, and the largest settlement on Varadenfell after Vivec City. Good roads lead north from here to Belmora, passing through Fort Pelagiad and Pelagiad Village. From Belmora, the road leads north to Aldrun through the town of Caldera. Maybe I'd better write down the directions to Belmora for you. It's a long walk and a little confusing.
What training do you offer?
You must have been misinformed. I don't offer services to the public.
Thank you for your time.
Arel's Trade House, Port of Seyda. Hereas the general session of the peace held for the district of the House Hlalu in the town of Belmora on the 16th day of first seed in the year of the reign of the sovereign King Hlalu Aethin Lethan, by grace of all gods, King of Morrowind, Duke of Mournhold and Hlalu Province, defender of the people of the law, loyal servant of the empire, etc. Arel of Port Seyda aforesaid hath entered into recognizance with sureties before us his majesty's magistrates of peace within the said district whose names are here underwritten. We therefore, his majesty's said magistrates, have hereby licensed and allowed said Arel to keep a common trade house or corner club in the house wherein he now dwelleth in the port of Seyda aforesaid for full 3 years, from henceforth next ensuing, or till some such other time as shall be by us or some of our fellow magistrates thereunto appointed, provided that if after said Arel does not from time to time during that time well and truly observe the articles hereafter mentioned, when this license shall presently cease and be utterly void. First item, that said Irel shall not suffer any stranger or unknown traveler to lodge or stay in about his house above 1 day and 1 night without making the same known forthwith to the next bailiff or other officer of this town, to the end that is said that the said stranger or unknown traveler may be examined by some magistrate of peace near adjoining. Second item, that he shall not suffer any playing at cards, tables, dice bowls, nine-holds, or other unlawful game, or any disorder or outrage in this house, orchard, garden, or buckside, but shall keep in good order and rule of his house. Third item, that he shall not suffer any neighbor's children, servants, or slaves to tipple in his house at all, nor any other to tipple in his house otherwise than by the statutes allowed. Fourth item, that he does not suffer any to tipple in houses of prayer or lesson, or on any emperor's or festival's days, nor at any time after the 8th hour of the night. Fifth item, he shall not harbor any rogues, vagabonds, tradeless men, nor other suspicious persons in or about his house. Sixth item, that he shall not buy or take to pawn or suffer to be brought or taken to pawn in his house, to his knowledge, any goods of any unknown traveler, or any neighbor's children, or servants, or slaves, or of any man's wife without the consent of their parents, masters, or husbands respectively, and if any such goods be offered to sale or pawn by any stranger, he shall make the same known forthwith to the next bailiff or other officer of the town. Seventh item, that he do not sell his best drink above 4 drakes the gallon, nor at the second sort above 2 drakes the gallon, nor suffer any ashfowl to be dressed or eaten in his house, or on any other victuals prohibited by the laws of the realm. Eighth item, that he shall not suffer any bawdry or criminal conversation in or about his house, nor shall produce or cause to be enticed any man to drink in his house until he shall be drunk or distempered with drink. Ninth item, that he shall not suffer any looting, drumming, or dancing in or about his house on any lesson day, nor in the time of divine service on any sacred festival or holy day. 10th item, that he shall cause this license to be openly fixed up in the hall room of his dwelling house, to the end that every one may see what articles he is bound to observe. Dated the day in the first year first above written, undersigned, Master Valeno Amani, Nevera Ules, Drambero, Crassus Curio, Yingling Half-Troll.
Now we'll get the, We'll get the 2 streams going right away.
What is it, Sarah?
Now, it wouldn't make any sense to just wait for night. Right now, there's the lighthouse. But they did say that there were some undesirables to the north somewhere. I'm assuming that's the, I guess, Strider they're talking about. We'll see if we can find Balmora. These are actually very helpful. Didn't have much use for alchemy back in Daggerfall, but that doesn't mean that we won't have any use for it here. Clearly these boots won't be any better. didn't mean to read. I'm actually gonna reload on that. I didn't mean to. Now I know how to steal. I won't do too many.
There is no escape.
I won't do too many redos, but.
Do you have the key to those bracers? Will you let me go free? You have the key. Will you let me go free? Unlock the slave's bracers. Yes, Badargo is free. You're a good friend of Badargo.
Good friend.
Death is upon
Excuse
you. You
me,
should find out.
sir.
Yes, you can all go free. Get out of the way. All right. Perhaps I should be a little less confident in my abilities.
Stupid!
Still not. I'm assuming that guy came from somewhere down there.
Warmly greeted, friend. Welcome.
Blessed we are.
Alright, I need to use that heal a lot sooner, I think. Or I need to kill that guy a lot faster. Should just use take all on that. So let's see if we can deal with them ahead of time. Ah, I get it. This ring that's not helping. Now we're ready to go.
You will die!
You in.
I have you! Now you die!
This is an honor for me.
Blessed we are.
Curious if I can pick up these bracers or not. Apparently not.
Over there. That's new.
Just start by taking everything and seeing what else I can find. So we've got a 1 to 18 with a slash. Saber is better than the longsword, it looks like. Somehow I think that bread will have an effect on me. No, apparently not. Yeah, let me up. I'm not sure what this other thing I picked up was. I have an iron saber right now. We'll maybe see if we can turn some of that in later on with at the trade house. Though apparently, according to the rules, they're not supposed to do that. Starting to run out of weight. Already encumbered, all right. Really won't cover most of it, but So the challenge here, of course, is that there may be something that's worth picking up, and I just don't have, what it, or the space for it. These dungeons certainly seem to make a lot. My least favorite. And it encumbered me. Alright, well, I think I can afford to get rid of the rat meat. Apparently I can't. Maybe I shouldn't be picking up everything now that should probably be sorting out exactly what this costs in terms of encumbrance relative to value. So we'll definitely head back to the village after this to turn in the goodies. So we've learned the controls, we've learned my limitations. We'll carry on. Again, it is a late stream for me tonight, or well, a late recording. So this will be a very basic introduction, but I am pleasantly surprised by the game. Also, for those if you haven't noticed, it is modded.
want something, friend?
I'll do what I can to keep myself occupied until the evening. But from the sounds of things, it seems like there's not much to go on. Not much to happen.
Can we hurry this?
I'm carrying contraband. Just, sneak that underneath a toadstool or something. So I do need to find a better place for it. Well.
Speak freely, friend.
Of course, need to find someone to.
My patience is limited.
I'm not going to buy that skooma from you. Get rid of that and we can trade. Skooma is an illegal narcotic substance made by from refined moon sugar. Criminals use it as a kind of currency. They say that it makes you fast and strong, but clumsy and stupid. Of course, I want nothing to do with it.
Alright. Is there anything else illegal that I'm carrying right now?
You have my attention.
You want something, friend? You want something, friend?
The tougher question, of course, is if I'm carrying this and people can tell that I'm carrying it, who said somebody's watching me? I can tell. I'm just trying to think if there's some way I can get in touch with people who will actually want to buy. Looks like there's a bit of a jam back in the trade house.
I'm listening.
What is this about?
Speak freely, friend.
How interesting. A tourist.
You have something to say to me?
Better hang on to the levitation. I think for now, I need money, so as much as I might want materials for things. Alright. Let's take a quick minute here and see if there's anything else in terms of apparel that I might be able to use. I've got, I believe gauntlets and a belt. Ah. Still no, pant armors. I can live with this, though. Now it doesn't say how much money I have. Not really. 243.
Yes.
Probably not enough for me to get training, but let's just check.
What's your story?
Yep, 300 is too much.
May the wind be on your back.
What was that?
I'm listening.
So now we need to find something else to do with our time.
I haven't seen a dark elf face before. Would you like a little advice, or are you looking for someone in particular?
Always looking for advice.
Best bet if you're new here is to hook up with one of the Imperial guilds. Fighters Guild or Mages Guild. It's not what you know, it's who you know. You'll get discounts on training and services. And if you need work, they'll know where to find it.
What do you know about, what do you know about the guilds?
I'm a commoner. I do whatever needs doing. Cooking, cleaning, building, baking, making, breaking. And by your accent, I can tell that you are an outlander. Since you're new to these parts, perhaps you'd like me to share a little of the local lore.
Well, what do you know of the local lore?
I've heard that there's a local tax collector. Processus Vitalis is missing. No surprise, really. He wasn't well liked around here.
So I've heard.
You have my attention.
I'm listening. Yes.
All right. Well, we'll be waiting a while for nighttime, it looks like, so let's head to Balmora. We'll find what we can on the way. And then we'll head back.
I've agreed to help Hirskar find the money that Fargoth has been hiding away. I'm supposed to keep an eye on him from atop the lighthouse in town and watch where he goes. Hirskar believes I should watch him at night. I'm not supposed to approach him at any time. I should retrace his footsteps and find out where he's hidden the money. When I found it, I should report back to Hirskar.
We make a special trip just for you. Same low price.
This is the seaport village of Said Neen, Outlander. In the Bitter Coast region, I'm a caravaner. I manage the Siltstrider port here. Tell me your destination if you're looking for a ride, or if you're new to Said Neen, I can help you with the local services, or any specific place in Said Neen that you're looking for. Or if you want someone in particular, maybe I know where to look.
It's still the same group here. Tell me about Siltstriders.
Siltstriders carry passengers and cargo between the settlements on Vradenfell. Fares depend on the distance to be traveled. Siltstriders are giant insects. A compartment for passengers and cargo is hollowed from the creature's shell. The driver directs the beast by directly manipulating exposed organs and tissues. Siltstriders travels between Aldrun, Balmura, Saed Neen, Suran, Mises, Molegmar, Margan, and North Landing near Vivec.
Well, I'd be happy to, take the trip on a Siltstrider, but then I wouldn't be able to see what's on the way. Happy to pick up anything I can sell. Sun's getting a little lower in the sky. Maybe we won't be able to make it to Balmora. promising.
The Andrano Ancestral Tomb.
So it seems like there's a trap or something around here.
Would you like to make a donation of 35 and receive the blessing of...
Probably not if I'm raiding the tomb. Now let them come to me. No, that won't work. Heal. Not quite sure why the heal didn't work, but... Down. Maybe I should consider trying a bow. For now, I'll rely on my sword abilities. Ah, this is a problem. I think here we will head back. Normally I would have rested until healed, but we're getting close to night, so I'm going to, instead I'm going to go and fulfill my mission. It's hard to remember which things I've already pillaged. and I cannot talk to him. Of course, it's not clear what counts as evening, but it's dark, so I'm going to,
Yes,
How
Outlander?
interesting.
You want something,
A
friend?
tourist.
They're barring the way. Let's take a minute here and, sell off what I can. I think I'll hang on to the longbow just in case. Oh, I forgot. I didn't actually want to sell that. Not sure if I'll have any use for a fishing pole. Suppose we'll hang on to it for now.
What assistance do you need?
Are you here about your wounds? You should find healing.
Yes? Speak freely,
That's
friend.
nice that he showed concern, but I'm still turning him in.
So, Caius, you're new to Seda Neen. You'd like help and you'd like some help finding your way around. Very sensible. Go ahead, ask away. Looking for services? Some specific place? Someone in particular? Just need a little advice? Whatever it is, I'd be happy to help.
What kind of advice can you offer?
Whew, you're bitter green, Outlander. Might as well wear a sign new in town. Word of advice, buy a little goodwill. Lose a few drakes, gain a friend. Folks will loosen up when you spread a little of the Emperor's gold around.
What about rumors?
I've heard the local tax collector, Process Vitellis, is missing. No surprise, really. He wasn't well liked around here.
What is this about?
I'd love to take a look in these chests, but I'm going to assume that she will be unhappy with me if I, take her possessions.
Gain knowledge from this book. Your unarmed skill is increased to 11. The Wraith's Wedding Dowry by Volga Gra Yamwart, translated by Apthorn. The poets are right. There is something life-changing about being in love, said Kepjanka Gra Minfang, sometimes called the Wraith. I haven't wanted to rob anyone or anything in weeks. Why, the other day I saw the door wide open at a wealthy merchant's house, but my mind was fully occupied with what I should wear on my wedding day. You've been out of the right society for very long now, frowned her friend Cargill approvingly. You've never told me what happened to your first husband, you know, the one the shaman gave you. Torn apart by ash ghouls, smiled Kepjana dreamily. was rather saddish, but I know nothing like that would happen to Woodwarg. No life of adventure for him. He's practically an Imperial. In fact, he is one. Did I tell you how we met? Hundreds of times, grumbled Cargol, reaching for his flagon. He was your jailer, and he refused you food until you promised to marry him. Have you ever heard of anything so madly romantic in all your life? Sighed Kepjanka. And then, Kepkanja, and then grew serious. I was going to say that I hope my old friends will wish me well, but as old Bostriel used to say, there's no point in hoping for what cannot be. We'll leave with the Imperial Knights for Balmora immediately after the wedding, but as long as we're here in Dagenfell, the gang will find some way of disrupting my love life and bring me back to the light. I know it. As the days approached towards the Wraith's wedding day, there was certainly something sinister in the air that Kepkanja could smell when she was not transported by heady bliss. Dark figures seemed to shift in the shadows and disappear when approached. She recognized the clothing of some beggars near Woodwarg's cottage as costumes, but the mendicants hurried away before she could recognize which of her old gang was stalking her. But these moments of apprehension were few. Kepkanja was truly happy, making arrangements for the ceremony to be performed at the very dungeon where Woodwarg had imprisoned her. Her father was long since dead, another victim of the Ash Ghouls, but her fiancé's commander volunteered to act in his behalf. Of course, Kepkanja had to supply her own dowry. She spent every last mark of her savings of ill-gotten gain to buy her beloved a truly wonderful present. The wedding was set for the stroke of midnight, as is Orc tradition. The handmaidens, wives of imperial officers, were busily sewing her into the gown of red velvet and fine gold filigree in the mid-morning. Dulcetta, one of the handmaidens, remarked that she had heard that Kepkanja had bought Woodwarg a truly beautiful gift for her dowry. Let me show it to you, Kepkanja giggled, dashing from the room half-dressed to her hidden alcove. The present had been stolen. The women were horrified, but the Wraith found herself merely irritated, not surprised. This is truly the old gang style. They knew about that a wedding ceremony without a dowry was marked as unlucky. She asked her handmaidens to finish dressing her quickly while she pondered what the burglars would have done with her treasure. The whole region was honeycombed with secret lairs and abandoned sites thieves were used to store their loot. There were obvious places, of course, but after much reflection, she thought that she would have to put it under where she would have put it under similar circumstances. Once the handmaidens had finished, Kepkanja bade them to make certain that the ceremony went on as scheduled, and not to fret that she might be a little late. She wrapped herself in a shawl to protect her gown from the dungeon dust and set off for the shrine of Malakath. The Wraith had never before attempted to rob her own friends, and though she was peeved at them for trying to ruin her happiness, she had no interest in hurting them physically. Her style was to avoid conflict, though she knew that it would be inevitable. The lessons her mentor Cargol had given her had helped her avoid the lances and blades of guards and imperial knights over the years, and now she would see if they would allow her to survive a den of thieves and the unknown dangers of the shrine, without, most importantly, ruining her dress. The desolate place was so empty as she delved into it that she feared that she might have made a miscalculation. It was not until she found the small room hidden down a long corridor that she knew that she was in the right place, and that it was well suited for an ambush. She grabbed the chest with her treasure within and turned to face the assault. Two of her old gang, Yoram and Yohir-E, the Red Guard twin brother and sister, were outside the room when she came from the room. Outside the door when she came from the room. They knew the Wraith better than to taunt her and immediately attacked. Yoram stuck out with his left thrust of his blade, while Yohir-E sought to rush her. The Wraith neatly sidestepped Yohir-E while dropping her weight to her rear left leg, shifting her right shoulder to the left to slip past Yoram's strike. The twins crashed into one another, and Kepkanja passed swiftly on. Almost immediately, she was set on by the Argonian Binyar, his mace whistling through the air at her head. They never much liked one another. The Wraith snapped into a duck, and so the mace whacked with a tremendous clamor against the stone wall. Binyar was thrown off balance, giving her a few seconds' lead hurrying up the passage. Ahead she could smell this fresh night air. The last of her dowry's defenders was Fargoth, an orc with whom she had shared a brief romance. It was he who Kepkanja knew and masterminded the theft. In a way, and in context, she thought, his devotion to her misery was rather sweet. At the moment, though, she was most concerned with avoiding his barbed axe that seemed ideal for breaking her dress's fine stitchwork and flesh beneath. Bending her knees slightly, bobbing to avoid the strikes to the head, weaving her head to confuse Fargoth of her next move, shuffling her feet arrhythmically, the Wraith made an impossible target. She ducked inside his thrusts, sidestepped his swings, and then sidestepped his thrusts and ducked his swings. As erratic as she tried to make her defensive moves, Sorgoth still kept pace with her, refusing to budge from his position at the dungeon outlet. Midnight was coming, and the Wraith finally decided that she must end the confrontation. When Sorgoth swung out next, she sidestepped to her left, swayed down, and ducked her head so that the axe whistled over her right shoulder. In that instant, his right side was exposed, and she reluctantly smashed the chest hard into his torso. It was not enough time for Kepkanja to see if she had killed him or merely knocked him unconscious. In truth, she thought of nothing else but rushing to her wedding ceremony. At precisely midnight, Woodwark and Kepkanja were united together. He was delighted with her dowry gift, a fine suit of armor that would make him the envy of the other Imperial jailers. Even more, he was enchanted by his wife's tale of retrieving it from the Shrine of Malekith. "Did it occur to you to put on the armor when you knew it was an ambush?" he asked. "I didn't want to dent your present," she replied between kisses, "and I certainly didn't want to wrinkle my gown."
Alright. So we'll see if we can find out what this guy's doing. I'm gonna try to get to a slightly better vantage point. Looks like one of the guards is stuck on the other. I may be wrong in doing this, but this is... Oh. I was hoping he doesn't look up. I was hiding it in a log. He's doing something. Not sure if there's anything I'm supposed to be doing right now because he sort of seems just stuck. Can admire my nice, crouching appearance. So we're staying put.
You've been wounded.
Thanks.
I'm listening. You want
I
something,
suppose
friend?
I could spare a moment or two.
I'm listening.
Alright, so apparently we will tell Darve Halran that Vodinus Nucleus has sent us. What about a secret?
Daedra? You want to know what they are, right? Well, Daedric shrines are where Daedra cults worship Daedra. Bad people who summon bad Daedra. Stay away from them. Why? Because Daedra are nasty, and folks that worship them are even nastier.
What about any rumors? Still more about the tax collector. Alright, I think what I'm gonna do is try to,
Speak up, at all.
You may speak.
You look ravaged. Maybe you should see a healer.
I think what I'll maybe try and do is find a place to heal. Let that guy go on his own.
I'm listening.
It's kind of everyone's house, so I think I'll just sleep in one of the dungeons now for the best. So the hope here is that I don't need to use too much of my magicka, so I can instead use that on the Wraith.
Yes? Yes?
Alright, this has to be a bug of some kind. He didn't notice anything.
What is this about? I'm listening. Go ahead.
Found his hiding place? That's great. Tell you what, I'll give you 100 gold, and you can keep anything else that you found in there. Thanks for your help.
Ah, you bring good fortune with you. Welcome.
Hriskar was grateful that I found the money that Fargoth had been hiding. He rewarded me with some gold, and told me that I could keep anything else I found in the bag besides the money that he wanted.
Now let's see what our...
What do you want? Don't bother trying to rob me. The Imperials have taken everything away. I don't have a hiding place. At least, not anymore.
Do you know about the latest rumors? Alright. Sorry about the money. So as before, I don't have anything else that I need to do in this city anymore. We will head to Balmora. But while we're there, I'm going to try and deal with that Wraith. Actually, because we're going to be leaving this area, I will, I'll take the dangerous goods with me. So the worry here, of course, is that I'm not going to be able to do anything to the, Well, that was easy. Worried about some of these noises. Yeah, I'm not gonna get a backstab on that. chance to ruin things for the archer. I'm dead. Still alive. It's a fight for my life at this point. It's 5 in the evening. I hope I pocketed that. We'll leave that in a second. There's almost certainly no way I'll get a backstab on that. It's very tempting to try and use the destruction spell on it, but I do need to heal. Yikes. Alright, too many goods. Interesting.
The 36 Lessons of Vivec, Sermon 15. These were the days when These were the days of Redisinia, when Keimer and Dwemer lived under the wise and benevolent rule of the AMLSIVI, Almzivi, and their champion, the Horator. When the gods of Veloth would retreat unto their own to mold the cosmos and other matters, the Horator would at times become confused. Vivec would always be there to advise him, and this is the third of the 3 lessons of ruling kings. The ruling king will remove me, his maker. This is the way of all children. His greatest enemy is the Sharmat, who is the false dreamer. You or he is the Shingle, Horator. Beware of the wrong walking path. Beware the crime of benevolence. Behold him by his words. I am the Sharmat. I am older than music. What I bring is light. What I bring is a star. What I bring is an ancient sea. When you sleep, you see me, dancing at the core. It is not a blight, it is at my house. I put a star into the world's mouth to murder it, tear down the pylons. My blind fish swim in the new phlogiston. Tear down the pylons, my deaf moons, sing and burn and orbit me. I am older than music, what I bring is light, what I bring is a star, what I bring is an ancient sea. You alone, though you come again and again, can unmake him. Whether I allow it is within my wisdom. Go unarmed into his den with the words of power. A Gertok Padom Kim, A Altadun, or do not. The temporal myth is man. Reach heaven by violence. This magic I give to you. The world you will rule is only an intermittent hope that you must be the letter written in uncertainty. The ending of the words is Almzivi.
Again, I'm back to trying to figure out what's worth keeping, what's worth selling. It's a tough call whether or not I want to try the heal at the moment. I think I'm gonna keep it, and if I feel like I'm in danger, I'll use it early, but...
The Homilies of Blessed Almexia. Sothasil and the Scribs. Young Sothasil, while playing in the egg mine, saw a number of scribs in a deep shaft, and he began to cast stones upon them, snickering as they skittered and scattered until one of the scribs, lifting its head up in agony, cried out to Sothasil, "Please, please, have mercy, little boy, for what is sport to you is suffering and death to us." And so Sothasil discovered that the idol of amusements one may be the solemn tortures of another. Lord Vivec and the contentious beasts. Ashok and Kagauti were strutting back and forth in Foyada, casting aspersions of one another's looks. "You are the ugliest creature alive," the Shock told the Kagauti. "No, you are the ugliest creature alive," the Kagauti told the Shock. For each thought of himself most handsome and the other most ugly. Then Lord Vivec chanced by, and both settled their dispute. "No, you are both the ugliest creatures alive, and I will not have my pleasant sojourn spoiled by your unseemly squabbling." So he dealt them both mighty blows, shattering their skulls and silencing their argument, and went merrily upon his way, and thus Lord Vivec proved that ugliness is as much in one's manner as it is in one's appearance. The boiled Kagauti. It is said that if a Kagauti steps into a boiling pool, he will leap out immediately to avoid harm. But if the Kagauti is standing in a pool, and a wizard slowly raises the temperature measure by measure to boiling, the Kagauti will calmly stand in place until he is boiled. Thus we see that we must be alert not only to the obvious danger, but also to the subtle degrees by which the change may result in danger. The dubious healer. Once upon a time, a Telvanni issued forth from his tower and proclaimed to all the world that he was a mighty and learned healer, master of all alchemy and potions, and able to cure all diseases. Lord Vivec looked upon this wizard and listened to him boasting, and asked him, How can you pretend to prescribe for others the cure to all diseases, when you are unable to cure yourself of your own manifest arrogance and foolishness? The Gar and the mud crabs. The Gar were so tormented by the other creatures as they did not know where to go. As soon as they saw a single beast approach them, off they dashed in terror. One day they saw a pack of Nyx hounds ranging about, and in a desperate panic, all the Gar scuttled off into the sea, or towards the sea, determined to drown themselves rather than live in such a continual state of fear. But just as they got near the shoreline, a colony of mud crabs, frightened in their own turn by the approach of the Gar, scuttled off and threw themselves into the water. Truly, said one of the Gar, things are not so bad as they seem, for there is always someone worse off than you. The wounded Netch. Wounded Netch lay himself down in a quiet corner of his feeding ground. His healthy companions came in great numbers to inquire after his health, yet each one helped himself to a share of the fodder which had been placed there for his use, so that the poor Netch died, not from his wounds, but from the greed and carelessness of his erstwhile friends. And so it is clear that thoughtless companions may bring more harm than help.
And I believe this is everything that we can do in this tomb. I hope this is the right direction. A little less desperate for money than we were before, but still won't hurt to take a few materials. Need to find a way out of the rain as early as I can. There's nothing there. Of course, it stops raining right at the time I find somewhere for me to... This is... Pelagiad. Well... It's rather late, so we'll see if there's maybe an inn to stay at. Now I am carrying contraband, so as much as I don't want to sort of save and, save and reload too often, I want to try and commit the decisions that I make. Still need to figure out whether or not the skooma and the moon sugar will be, a problem.
I'm fine, thank you. What can I do for you?
Tell me about Pelagiad.
The Empire built this little fort here to guard the roads between Vivec, Seyda Neen, Balmora, and points north, and then some veterans took their mustering out pay and built themselves some little farms here. And pretty soon there's a few shops and trade house. It's a pleasant little village if you didn't know any better. You'd think that you were in Daggerfall or some other high rock town.
What can you tell me about Solstheim?
Terrible place, I've heard. There's a boat from Kuhl if you have any reason to go. I'm an officer of the Imperial Legion. Move along.
What can you tell me about Pelagiad?
The Empire built a little fort here to guard the roads between Vivec, Seyda Neen, Balmora, and points north.
What about guards?
Guards keep the peace and chase down criminals. Each district has its own guard, Legion troopers in Imperial districts, Ordinators in Temple districts, Redoran, Halu, and Telveni guards in their own Great House districts. Guards collect fines and compensation, or drag you off to prison if you can't pay.
What is this about fines?
That's how we punish crimes in Morrowind. We collect fines, and compensation is paid to the injured party or his kin. Don't pay the fine, then you do hard labor.
What rumors have you heard?
Rumor says that the Emperor has repealed the war tax. We've heard nothing official here, but it's about damn time. We haven't had a war in 10 years.
Any advice?
If you want to improve a skill you're terrible at, it's worth paying for a little training, just to get you started. Sure, you can teach yourself, but it can be slow and frustrating.
What about a secret?
If someone attacks you first, you have the right to defend yourself. If someone doesn't attack you first, you're going to break the law if you attack them.
Fair point. Supplies. Arms. Tavern.
I'm an officer of the Imperial Legion. Move along. Welcome, Outlander. What brings you to Pelagiad? Can I help you find a specific place? Pelagiad is a small place, just a halfway trade house, a couple of merchants, a few colonists, and Fort Pelagiad. Most of us are outsiders, colonists from the Empire, adventurers looking for our fortunes. To the west of town, roads lead southwest to Seyda Neen, south to Ebernhart, southeast through the Ascadian Isles to Vivec, and north to Balmora. We have no travel services, but walking is good exercise. You'll have to get rid of that moon sugar if you want any services from me. I don't want any trouble.
Understandable. Let's see if the tavern can... Alright. First things first, we're gonna get rid of this, What about the skooma?
Yes?
They're taking an interest.
Wealth beyond measure, Outlander.
Welcome, Outlander. What brings you to Pelagiad? Can I help you find a specific place?
What are the latest rumors?
The Legion in Nisus is orcs, mostly, but word is that they're recruiting for anyone out there.
What about a secret?
Daedra? You know what they are, right? Well, Daedric shrines are where Daedra cults worship Daedra. Bad people who summon bad Daedra. Stay away from them. Why? Because Daedra are nasty, and folks who worship them are even nastier.
What is your trade?
I'm a barbarian and proud of it. I like the wilderness, and I know how to live comfortably off the land. I know the various creatures of the wild, how to hunt them, what bits are good to eat, and what bits the city folk will pay for. I know weapons and armor, and I know how to stay healthy. I can play soldier for pay, but I hate taking orders, so I'd rather live by hunting.
I think I'll just dump the stuff here. So first off, we'll see if we can wind up with some better armor.
Show respect, Dark Elf. Do not flatter me.
I wish I would say what they do. Let's try and get 185. Excellent. Now, is there anything that I want from them? So right now I have 5 to 18 as my best. Doesn't look like I'm gonna be getting any better. What about armor? It's mostly heavy. The best, of course, would be if I have some kind of pants. Alright, well, we'll live with what we've got. Wait, this is the tavern.
I don't know if I can help you, but I'll try.
to sell my books. And I'm not sure why that skull is significant, so I don't think that I'm carrying so much, but let's try for 240. 45. Now, as always, are you able to give me something that's better than 4 to 16? Silver longsword. I think I'll hang on to the iron saber, but the steel longsword is tempting as well. Let's try and talk him down to 140.
Hello. Did you want something?
Is there a better shield, actually, now that I think of it? No, we already looked at that. Just want to make sure my reputation isn't, yeah. Alright, so let's see if the tavern is willing to buy. Fair.
What is this about?
Yes, we have a bed available. It's 10 gold for the rest of the day. Do you want it?
Not right now.
Okay, just ask again if you change your mind.
What rumors have you heard?
Rumor says the Emperor has repealed the war tax. We've heard nothing official here, but it's about damn time. We haven't had a war in 10 years.
What services are there?
Mebistine Ents, the Breton, he's a trader, deals in a bit of everything. Yildernil is a high elf, and is fair smith. Shattuck, Grab Urbing is a smith in Fort Pelagiad. The Imperial Cult Shrine is here in Port Pelagiad, with a healing altar. And Yigfa, the healer, sells some cure potions. Lydia Floragis and Anisi are trainers. You can usually find them here at the halfway tavern, and they say the Thieves Guild has some people in Pelagiad, but why would I know anything about that?
Why indeed.
Be happy to help you, stranger. I'm Samia. People are fairly friendly here in Pelagiad. We don't mind answering a few questions.
What do you know about the Imperial cult?
Pelagiad's Imperial Cult Shrine is in Fort Pelagiad, the eastern end of the main street, the altar that cures disease and poison, and Yigfa the healer sells cure potions.
Any rumors?
And how do you think it was that the bloated Imperial plutocrats got the charter to exploit the Caldera ebony deposits? Not a native great house or a local colonist. Big fat bribes, I tell you, and friends in high places.
Very well. Sounds like you're very passionate about it.
Pleased to meet you, stranger. You planning to be in Pelagiad long? Then you'll want to know what the services are.
Tell me what the services are. Alright, I'll bite. Tell me about the Thieves Guild.
Thieves Guild doesn't have public guild halls. They tend to gather in a single location, usually a corner club or a trade house in larger towns. Look for guild operatives in Balmora, Aldrin, Sadthamoran, and the foreign quarter of Vivec.
What is your trade?
I'm a lovable rogue, a silver-tongued devil with a taste for the better things in life. But lovable as I am, some people get upset with me, and so I must fight, purely in self-defense, you understand. I like light armor and short blades for self-defense. Heavy armor and heavy weapons just tire you out, but I train with various different weapon types and armor types so I can improvise when the situation demands it.
What about rumors?
Rumor says that the Emperor has repealed the war tax.
So I've heard. What about a secret?
You've been wounded.
When Ansi sees smooth moves like this, Ansi thinks a dancer. No? A high wall walker? If you aren't in the Thieves Guild, sweet perhaps you should be.
What do you mean by smooth moves?
How can an Ansi not see? Must she be blind? She sees you walk. She sees you and she likes what she sees. It's her profession to see such things as the flow of the body and the grace of the eye and admire.
What is your profession?
What Khajiit can see what she wants and not take it. Could an Assi ask for a gift? Don't say no to an Assi. Must an Assi be a thief? She must steal this thing. This the Caius fellow she wants. Or will he give himself as a gift?
You may have my friendship.
Please forgive Anasi. She purrs like a kitten, but Anasi is so pleased. You will come visit Anasi often then and tell her things? And ask her things too, for now we are friends, yes? Anasi such secrets knows. She almost bursts, like Anasi must tell her new friend. This Hortus upstairs, such secret I know. Anasi tells you, Anasi trusts you, yes. Anasi is a thief. You do not mind. Why? Because Anasi loves secret things. She loves secrets, and when she finds them, she loves to have them. Like the strange Hordris upstairs. Hordris has a secret. Anasi can see, so Anasi follows Hordris. This is how Anasi knows Hordris serves Merunas Dagon. This magic belt Hordris has. Such a pretty belt, but strange writings and strange letters. Maybe evil, maybe danger.
What do you know about the Thieves Guild?
Why are you asking me? Maybe you'd like to join Thieves Guild?
Perhaps.
Tell you what, why not visit the South Wall Corner Club in Balmora? Spend some time there, ask around. If people like what they see, you'll learn something.
What kind of training do you offer?
No, Anasi does not train, because you do not belong to... But Manasi must not say what you don't belong to.
Sarah?
And on that note, it'll be a slightly shorter one, but the Merunas Dagon news is an interesting one to end on, so... I will leave it at that, and wish you all a very good evening, and we will see you next week with a more substantive playthrough of Morrowind.